We have touched down in a world with an immutable state of change. We are well into the year 2022 and have certainly gone through a year or even more of changes affecting every sphere of life. Change has rolled down the runway of our lives. Change is an unavoidable phenomenon. It turns our worlds upside down for the better. John F. Kennedy said, "Change is the law of life. And those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future." Waves of change come and go. They are never identical, but they come. How do we respond to these waves of change? I'm Sandra Elizabeth Gopal. Today's podcast is entitled Riding the Wave of Change. Change cannot be avoided. Change will hunt you down. Change will challenge you. It will force you to relook and reconsider how to make a shift and adapt to something new. We cannot avoid the unexpected events in our lives, as it is these events that challenge us. They force us to step out of comfort zone. If we ignore or hide away from the challenge of change, we deny ourselves the opportunity to learn and grow. When you are unprepared and resistant to change, then you have no control or choice as to how you want to live your life. You live your life as a reactionary rather than an activator of change. Our resilience in life can only grow stronger when we embrace change and manage these challenges in a positive way, rather than hide away and ignore the opportunities that change can bring to our lives. There is no escaping the impact that change can bring into your life. Managing change in life is key to living a life where you are not only surviving but also thriving. Be prepared for change because then you will be in control of your reactions to it. Yes, change is a challenge. We have all experienced change. It has happened for sure. Change is all around us. We are enveloped by change. Of late, familiar routines were thrown out the window. Across the globe, humans are living through a period of extraordinary change. I say extraordinary because many are without jobs, many have lost family and friends, and have had great financial instability, and we are still grieving through the process. People have worked from home, and it's been challenging just trying to remain focused. Just when the habit of working from home was developed, it too had to change. People are transitioning from the shift that has already occurred. So how does one shift again? How does one refocus? Especially when change itself has changed. It's a lot of change to get used to. Most times you probably feel like a fish out of water in this highly unusual situation of rapid change. Change creates disruption and causes exhaustion and being overwhelmed. Life has changed. We've all had to adapt. It has taken us out of our comfort zones. But adaptability is what is so needed. We cannot control or stop change. What we can do is learn. Learn how to respond to it, learn how to embrace it, how to deal with it constructively, how to remain positive during the transition. Adaptability is an essential and important skill. We have to move forward. There are no signs of certainty ahead. The daily questions are, will I be able to get back on my feet? Will I ever get the same position back? Will my employer employ me again? Will schools go back to normal? When can we travel freely again? When can I go on holiday? How am I going to pay my school fees? How am I going to pay my mortgage? So much has changed, so how do we move forward? It's so easy to just shut down. It's just so easy to crumble into a million pieces. Yet we have the option to change our mindset. We can adapt to our circumstances. We can embrace the changes that have taken place. How do we adapt? We can change our lifestyle, our image. We can ride the wave. We have to allow coping mechanisms to kick in. We will always go through challenges. To assume that life will just be okay all the time is unreasonable thinking. Nobody knows what the future holds. Yesterday was a pandemic. Tomorrow could be war. What next? So instead of allowing negative energy to flow, we need to adapt and focus on what we can do to make the situation work in our favor. We must be persistent. We must be willing. We must not live in the past. When it comes to change, we are all unique and we all respond differently. Some people thrive on change and see it as a stimulating and exciting experience. Others become very stressed and agitated. They see change as something that destabilizes their entire existence. We are, after all, creatures of habit. So it may be that we are continually grieving for what was before. We grieve for the life we had before the pandemic. We grieve for that time of comfort. But it is a time of discomfort. And we are continually grieving for what was before. We also grieve for the life we had before the pandemic. But I must stress this. During the pandemic, there was major change, and we adapted. If someone told you a year ago that you would have to stay indoors for an indefinite period, you would have said that will never happen. But people did it. It was a global experiment in discomfort. It hasn't been an easy experience, but learning to be comfortable with being uncomfortable is what will get us all through. We need to allow ourselves to see possibilities in unanticipated change. The pandemic was just the first step to accelerating changes that were going to happen anyway. Changes such as the shift to remote work. So managing change is similar to surfing. Take a look at the ocean. Those waves never seem to end. They keep coming. The waves come in different sizes and with different pressure. They roll out, they peak a bit, and then they stop. Surfers ride the waves. They look so great as if they are just floating. But it takes work. They see waves as an opportunity. They turn waves into a source of competitive advantage by building on their capabilities. They use them as a source of energy and inspiration. A successful surfer needs the right equipment before they begin, the right board and the right suit. They decide on which waves to ride. If they are too early, they miss the wave. If they are too late, they crash into the wave. So they learn how to balance and position themselves. They learn how to enjoy the ride. They learn how to enjoy the lessons of being crashed, but they get back. Their ability to ride the wave improves. No human being is immune to the constant and often increasing waves of change. Like the tide, they come whether you want them to or not. The only decision is how to respond. Put yourself on the right side of the wave. Finding yourself on the wrong side of the wave is no fun. Getting on the right side of that same wave, however, is incredible. It's exhilarating and empowering. Harness the wave the right way. Change can become an advantage. Riding waves of unending change requires new approaches. Watch for oncoming waves and get into position. Make sure that you have the right setup in place to succeed. Everything around us is constantly changing, but what's important is that we ourselves undergo change too. But despite this knowledge, one of the most difficult things human beings learn during their life is how to embrace change. Many people find change terrifying, and that's normal. Change does look challenging, risky, and uncertain. As frightening as this thought is, it's also very liberating. In fact, embracing change is key to your growth as an individual and highly affects your overall success and happiness. Embracing change in life is essential about developing and growing. Embracing change implies that you don't see change as adversity, but as an opportunity to improve yourself or to try new things. You need to be positive about your situation. Many times what we consider failures are actually just setbacks. So often, Many people go through life without ever living up to their full potential. We never allow ourselves to express who we really are. Change is an inevitable part of life, and no matter how happy we are with how things are currently, life will always change. How do we ride the wave of change? How do we adapt to change? How do we embrace change? Firstly, we need to change our mindsets. George Bernard Shaw said, "Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything." See, we are creatures of habit. We love the familiar. We love the comfort zone. So embracing change is stepping into the unknown. Our fear and self-limiting beliefs will kick into action when we are faced with the disruptive consequences of change. There is no escaping the fact that change is a disruptor, and it feels uncomfortable and scary, but we need to change our mindset. We need to change the way we think. Secondly is our power of choice. Our choices determine where we are headed. It is the power of those choices that we make that enables us to activate positive change in our lives. We cannot control the events of change in our life, but we can control how we react to the impact that these events have on our lives. Graham Brown said, "Life is about choices. Some we regret, some we're proud of, some will haunt us forever. In the end, we are what we choose to be." So the more you use your power of choice, and the more you focus your mindset on positively adapting to change, the more resilient you will be to dealing with impact that change will bring to your life. Number 3, step out. Step out of your comfort zone. Comfort zone is a place where the future gets buried. It is a place where unrealized dreams are buried. Comfort zone is the enemy of achievement. Roy Bernays said, "Leadership begins when you step outside your comfort zone." Give your life a sense of direction. Know your purpose. Know where you are heading. Know what is your priority. Remain focused so that you can successfully adapt and manage the impact of change in your life. Having no purpose or meaning means that you tend to drift in life within the confines of your comfort zone. Purpose and meaning in life will give you the courage to step out of your comfort zone, which is where you will find change and the opportunities it can offer. Number 4, let go of the past. Letting go of the past mistakes is key to you being able to move forward in life. It is the events of change that present opportunities in life. Turning back and looking at your past will cause you to miss the opportunities of the present and the future. Live in your present and see the future ahead. Number 5, surround yourself with positive people. Connect with others. Spend time with people who have a positive impact on your life. Spend time with people who will speak positively into your life. You can stand on a table and see if it's easy to pull up people that are standing below the table. See if you can pull them up to your level. The people below the table seem to have more power to pull you down. So if you have negative people around you, negative people standing below your table, they will drain you, they will pull you down. Number 6, make change before change makes you. Explore the world and the endless possibilities available to you. Find new opportunities, be smart, and activate your intelligence. Explore this world. Your attitude towards life is affected by your ability to embrace change. Embrace change, know where you are going, and know what you are setting yourself out for. Know what you want to accomplish. The clearer you picture these changes, the more motivated you will be. Don't get stuck with the way you used to do things. If you're employed at a company, don't get stuck with the way you used to do things 10 years ago. Accept the change, embrace the changes that come, because new changes will help you to get your job done easier. It will simplify the way you do things. As I come to the end of this podcast, I want to say to you, It is easy to see changes in nature occurring as a process. Whether it is a caterpillar turning into a butterfly or winter shifting into spring, we can so easily appreciate the process of change around us. So we must reframe our approach to life. We must be renewed, we must be refreshed, we must be motivated. And that can be done with embracing change. Viktor Frankl said, "We are no longer able to change a situation. We are challenged to change ourselves." I believe today that you will be able to ride the wave of change with ease. Thank you for joining me on this online platform. Until next time, goodbye.